Hello, amazing artists. Welcome back to Art with Mrs. Hales. Today is day 2 of our castle project. You should have your castle all drawn in pencil, and you should have it, if you chose to go straight with oil pastel, you should have it all drawn, the outline. And today we're going to add some color and some details. Let's just briefly review some of the parts of a castle. We have towers, we have barbicans or walls, you may have a moat, you may have a drawbridge or a portcullis, which is that sharp gate where the drawbridge is, the entrance. You may have some battlements, which are those little cutout places in the wall. The bailey is the center part of the castle. You may have a well. There are all kinds of parts you could have included to your castle. This is a building in Russia called St. Basil's Cathedral. Now, it's not really a castle, but I think it looks like a castle. I don't know if the Russians classify it as a castle, but I love the domes, which are the round parts on the top. Can anyone think of where else we saw a dome like this that was larger? But that's right. When we looked at the Taj Mahal, we saw a dome. Anyway, this building has so many cool designs and details and patterns on it. I thought I would show it to you because it might be inspiring for you. And I was inspired for the last castle that I made by this building. Now, unlike in a real castle where some of the building decorations like battlements actually serve a function, these building decorations or ornamentations don't really serve a function other than to just be beautiful patterns. So let's break down some of the shapes that we see. There are lots of arches of different sizes. I see lots of rectangles and triangles and diamonds and squares and lines that are smaller at the top and fatter in the middle. I see a shape that looks like an arch, but it's pointed at the top. And in the middle, there's even an arrow. There's a doorway that has an arrow shape above it. So you guys are familiar with all of these shapes and can make all of these shapes and patterns. Here is my building, my last castle that was inspired by the St. Basil's Cathedral. And you'll see also some patterns in my hills. I used rubbing plates to make those. And then I have some cotton ball clouds on here, which you guys are also welcome to do. I'm finished with the oil pastel part of my drawing, and I'm just gonna do watercolor painting today. I created texture with oil pastel of stones and then kind of like a maybe a wooden turquoise wall. I don't know exactly which texture that is, but I cleaned up my watercolor palette and I want to make like a cool turquoisey aqua color to paint my castle in because I want all of the kind of the color scheme of my castle to be cool colors. And the real castle in real life was gray, but that's okay. I'm going to take some creative license with this. Creative liberties, they're called. So I'm just going to paint most of my buildings the same color. I mixed dark blue and dark green. And then I'm even going to paint over where I did that wooden turquoise wall because I want the paint to fill in some of those white spaces. So it looks more like it's cohesive and it's all one castle. Sometimes you have to go back in with oil pastels, like if some of your details get lost. And later I'm going to color in my windows yellow. But for the most part, I was done with my oil pastels. I'm going to finish up painting the landscape part of my castle. I'm going to paint my hills. I'm going to paint my moat. And then I'm going to paint my sky. I'm going to probably make it morning or just like an orangish yellow sky. You can be creative with your colors or you can try to be more realistic. It's totally up to you. Don't forget to clean up your watercolor palettes and your mixing tray when you are all finished. And here's the finished product with my windows like the lights are on in my castle and somebody is home. The supplies you're going to need today include watercolor paint, a watercolor brush, and a water cup. You may need some more oil pastels to add details or like color in your windows, or I don't know, add some fish in your moat, whatever you need to do. And your goal today is to get finished painting your castle. The painting goes faster than coloring with watercolor. So that's why we saved most of the composition to be painted, and we just colored in some details with the oil pastels. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you next time.